This map shows the major smuggling routes for weapons into Sudan, where a deadly civil war has raged since 2023. The Guardian has dug into leaked UN reports, internal government documents, satellite images and imagery from the ground, and we've uncovered evidence the UAE has continued to provide weapons used to kill thousands of civilians, and involvement the Gulf state denies, and revealed that the UK is accused of being complicit in such atrocities. Facing claims it chose its relationship with the UAE over the lives of thousands of Sudanese civilians. The war in Sudan is a violent power struggle between the country's two main military factions, the Sudanese Armed Forces, SAF, and the paramilitary Rapid Support Forces, the RSF. Both groups have been accused of war crimes against civilian populations and violating human rights and humanitarian law. In just 3 years, hundreds of thousands of people have been killed. 30 million people have been displaced. It's the world's worst humanitarian crisis. The SAF, which is still considered the official state military, is backed by regional powers like Egypt and Saudi Arabia. But the war's main outside influence is UAE, whose supply of arms to the RSF has continued, despite the RSF being accused of genocide and ethnic cleansing. And as the killing continues, increasingly advanced weaponry has been seen on the battlefields of Sudan. The question is, how have they got there? A leaked confidential report, compiled by UN experts, points towards an illicit air bridge from the UAE using regular cargo planes to transport suspected weapon shipments. The planes routinely engage in evasive tactics, landed in countries neighbouring Sudan, where alleged weapon cargoes are then unloaded onto trucks and smuggled into Darfur to the RSF using at least 3 routes. So why is the UAE interested in Sudan? For a start, gold. Vast quantities of the precious metal are smuggled to Dubai. And simply securing influence in Sudan, a strategically located country, rich in fertile land, would significantly expand the Emiratis' political and economic clout. Despite this mounting evidence, the UAE has consistently denied any involvement. The UK occupies a unique position in this conflict. Not only Sudan's former colonial ruler, it is the penholder for Sudan at the UN Security Council. This means the UK is in charge of international response to the conflict. Instead, however, the UK is accused of courting UAE for massive economic investments, real estate, football clubs, and arms purchases worth hundreds of millions of pounds. The UK's stance on Sudan came to a head last spring. On the 11th of April 2025, at the exact time the RSF launched a 72-hour massacre at a huge displacement camp in Darfur. According to sources inside the UK government, Western intelligence agencies, including the UK, were receiving real-time warnings that ethnic massacres and genocide were imminent. And days later, UK ministers hosted a conference on the situation in Sudan.
Let's show the world we've not given up on Sudan.
There is no evidence, however. British delegates confronted UAE counterparts at the peace talks about the RSF slaughter. In fact, the conference's concluding statement completely ignored the massacre. The camp, called Zamzam, and where at least 1,000 people were killed, was not even mentioned. And months later, following another, even bigger RSF atrocity at the nearby city of El Fasher, 10,000 people were killed in just 2 days. Internal documents reveal the UK deliberately chose a least ambitious approach for atrocity prevention in Sudan, quoting an overstretched team. At the same time, the UK government continued to approve arms exports to the UAE. Dossiers submitted to the UN Security Council showed that British manufactured military equipment was recovered directly from RSF combat sites. Eventually, the UK imposed some sanctions on RSF commanders. However, it is yet to publicly condemn the Emiratis. Our reporting has helped bring global attention to an often ignored crisis, prompting debates in the UK Parliament, a review of arms export licences, and is credited by humanitarian agencies with increasing aid to the devastated country. With the war well into its 4th year, it's yet to be seen if the UK will revisit its position and mount pressure against the UAE, potentially saving thousands of lives.